Have you ever wondered how an ancient highway, not of asphalt, but of sand and dreams, reshaped the entire world? Forget what you think you know about a single road. The Silk Road was a sprawling, chaotic, and magnificent network of trails, a pulsating artery of civilization that connected empires and changed the course of history. It wasn't just about silk. It was about spies, adventurers, and monks carrying secrets and salvation. It was where ideas clashed, cultures merged, and fortunes were made and lost in the blink of a desert storm. This wasn't just a trade route. It was the world's first global internet, and today we're going to journey back in time to uncover its 10 greatest stories. So, buckle up, because this is a story of epic proportions. Our story begins over 2,000 years ago, around 114 BCE, during China's powerful Han Dynasty. Emperor Wu had a problem: constant raids from nomadic tribes to the north. His solution? Send an envoy, a man named Zhang Qian, on a perilous mission west to find allies. Zhang Qian didn't find the allies he was looking for, but what he discovered was far more valuable. He found powerful civilizations, magnificent horses, and an insatiable curiosity for Chinese goods. His reports back to the emperor lit a spark. The Han Dynasty began to push its influence westward, not just for security, but for trade. This was the genesis, the very first thread in the magnificent tapestry we now call the Silk Road. Now let's clear up a common misconception. The Silk Road wasn't a single paved superhighway running from China to Rome. That image is far too simple. Instead, picture a complex web, a spider's silk of countless interconnected paths. There were treacherous overland routes that snaked through the unforgiving Taklamakan Desert, which locals ominously called the Sea of Death, and climbed over the sky-piercing Pamir Mountains, the roof of the world. But that's not all. A parallel network of maritime routes crisscrossed the Indian Ocean, connecting seaports from Southeast Asia to the Arabian Peninsula and the coast of Africa. It was a dynamic, ever-shifting grid of commerce and culture, linking dozens of kingdoms and empires in a grand, global dance. So why call it the Silk Road? Because of one commodity that drove the ancient world into a frenzy: silk. To the Romans, this shimmering feather-light fabric was pure magic. It was softer, stronger, and more luxurious than anything they had ever seen. Roman aristocrats would pay its weight in gold, making it the ultimate status symbol. The secret of its production was a jealously guarded state secret in China for centuries. But silk was just the headline act. Traveling westward alongside it were chests filled with gleaming porcelain, intricate jade carvings, and fragrant tea leaves. In the other direction, caravans brought back exotic goods to China: precious gems and spices from India, fine glassware from Persia, and powerful, heavenly horses from Central Asia that were crucial for the Chinese military. It was a two-way street of desire. But the most powerful things exchanged on the Silk Road weren't things you could hold in your hand. They were ideas. As merchants, missionaries, and pilgrims journeyed along these routes, they carried their beliefs with them. Buddhism, born in India, traveled east along the Silk Road, finding fertile ground in China, Korea, and Japan, transforming their cultures forever. You can still see its legacy in the magnificent cave temples carved into cliffsides along the route, like the Mogao Caves. In the opposite direction, Nestorian Christianity made its way deep into Asia, and later Islam spread with incredible speed, carried by Arab traders and conquerors, reshaping the spiritual landscape of Central Asia, Persia, and beyond. This exchange wasn't always peaceful, but it created an incredible mosaic of faith and philosophy across the continent. Imagine the sheer logistics of it all. Very few traders ever traveled the entire length of the Silk Road. It was simply too long and too dangerous. Instead, it operated like a massive relay race. A merchant might carry goods from China to a bustling oasis city like Kashgar. There, they'd sell their cargo to a Sogdian or Persian middleman, who would then take it further west to another legendary hub like Samarkand or Bukhara. These cities became vibrant, cosmopolitan melting pots where dozens of languages were spoken in the marketplaces. To support these journeys, a system of caravanserais, think of them as ancient roadside motels, sprang up along the routes, offering weary travelers and their animals food, water, and protection for the night. It was in these shared courtyards that stories were swapped, deals were struck, and the world became a little smaller. And what a journey it was. The life of a Silk Road trader was one of constant peril and high adventure. They faced some of the most extreme environments on Earth. Blistering hot deserts where water was more precious than gold, and freezing mountain passes where a single misstep could mean a fatal plunge. And if the elements didn't get you, the bandits might. The routes were often plagued by raiders who would prey on slow or poorly defended caravans. To survive, merchants banded together, forming massive caravans of hundreds of camels, guarded by armed mercenaries. The camel, the iconic ship of the desert, was the real hero of the Silk Road, capable of carrying heavy loads for days without water. Every successful journey was a testament to human endurance, courage, and a little bit of luck. No story of the Silk Road is complete without mentioning its most famous traveler, Marco Polo. In 1275, this young Venetian merchant, along with his father and uncle, arrived at the lavish court of Kublai Khan, the Mongol emperor of China. Polo spent nearly 2 decades in the Khan's service, traveling extensively throughout the vast Mongol Empire. When he finally returned to Venice and recounted his adventures, his stories of a sophisticated, wealthy, and technologically advanced civilization in the East seemed too fantastic to be true. His book, The Travels of Marco Polo, became a medieval bestseller. While some doubted his tales, calling him Il Milione, the man of a million lies, his account fired up the European imagination and fueled a desire to connect directly with the riches of Asia, inspiring future explorers, including Christopher Columbus. The Silk Road wasn't just a conduit for goods and gods, it was an engine of innovation. When different cultures collide, incredible things happen. Knowledge of medicine, mathematics, and astronomy flowed freely between East and West. For example, Indian mathematical concepts, including the number 0, traveled west, while Islamic scholars preserved and expanded upon Greek and Roman knowledge, which later helped fuel the European Renaissance. But perhaps the most world-changing technologies to spread via the Silk Road were the 4 great inventions from China. Papermaking revolutionized communication and record-keeping. Gunpowder forever changed the nature of warfare. The magnetic compass made long-distance navigation possible, and printing allowed for the mass production of texts. The Silk Road was the channel through which these innovations flowed, fundamentally altering the trajectory of human civilization. So why did this incredible network eventually fade away? The end came gradually, but a key moment was the fall of Constantinople in 1453 to the Ottoman Empire. This event effectively slammed the door on the primary land route between Europe and Asia, making overland trade more difficult and expensive. At the same time, European powers like Portugal were pioneering new maritime technologies. They were building ships capable of circumnavigating Africa, opening up direct sea lanes to India and the Spice Islands. This age of discovery shifted the center of global trade from the land to the sea. It was faster, cheaper, and allowed for carrying much larger volumes of goods. The camel caravans of the Silk Road simply couldn't compete with the mighty galleons of the ocean, and the ancient routes slowly fell into disuse and slumber. But the story doesn't end there. The legacy of the Silk Road is all around us. It's a powerful symbol of globalization, a reminder that for millennia, humanity has been driven by a desire to connect, exchange, and learn from one another. Its spirit of cultural fusion and shared prosperity continues to inspire us. In recent years, we've seen a revival of this concept with modern initiatives like China's Belt and Road. a massive infrastructure project aiming to create new economic corridors connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa. The ancient dust may have settled, but the Silk Road remains a timeless testament to the power of human connection, a grand, enduring story woven from threads of commerce, culture, and pure adventure. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through time. If you enjoyed this exploration of the Silk Road, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another adventure into history. See you next time.